Out of the car. Whoa!
Okay, we don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Whoa!
This is the new video of the deadly shooting by an ICE agent killing a 37-year-old woman, Renee Good, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, on January 7th, 2026.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
This guy has a gun. They're firing guns.
Her fatal killing has triggered massive protests across America, keeping the country on edge. But now, this video, captured by the ICE agent who fired the shots, reveals the final moments of Good's confrontation with Jonathan Ross before the shootout. The new 47-second video was published online by a Minnesota-based conservative news site, Alpha News. It shows the immigration officer approaching Good's vehicle in the middle of the road with sirens blaring in the background. Amid the confrontation with Good, her wife can also be seen recording the encounter, walking around the vehicle and approaching the officer. What followed was a series of heated exchanges. That's fine, I'm not mad at you, says Good as the officer passes by her door. She has one hand on the steering wheel and the other outside the open driver's side window. Her wife can be heard saying, U.S. citizen, former f***ing veteran, standing outside the passenger side of the SUV holding up her phone.
You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy.
She then said, you want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Other officers at the scene also approached the driver's side of the car at about the same time, and one said, get out of the car, get out of the f***ing car. Good then reverses briefly and turns the steering wheel toward the passenger side as she drives ahead, and Ross opens fire.
Whoa!
The camera becomes unsteady and points toward the sky, then returns to the street view, showing Good's SUV careening away. Someone at the scene says. A crashing sound was then heard as Good's vehicle smashed into other vehicles parked on the street. This new video came to light after the prosecutor requested additional video and evidence amid widespread nationwide protests across the United States.
Okay, we don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Whoa!
Good's wife, Becca Good, released a statement to Minnesota Public Radio on Friday. Becca Good said, "Kindness radiated out of her." She added that they stopped to support our neighbors. Under an ICE policy directive, officers and agents are expected to activate body-worn cameras at the start of enforcement activities and to record throughout interactions, and footage must be kept for review in serious incidents such as deaths or use of force cases. The Department of Homeland Security has not responded to questions about whether the officer who opened fire or any of the others who were on the scene were wearing body cameras. The Associated Press reported that Good was an Iraq War veteran who had served for nearly 2 decades in the Border Patrol and ICE. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump, Department of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, and others have repeatedly characterized the Minneapolis shooting as an act of self-defense and cast Good as a villain. They have been suggesting that Good used her vehicle as a weapon to attack the officer who shot her.
Minnesota, the vice president yesterday suggested that Renee Good, who was killed by this ICE officer, was part of a broad left-wing network. What has your team told you about this broad left-wing network? Who is in charge of it? Who's part of it? What's it called?
Well, I haven't seen the vice president's statement, but he's generally very accurate. I hate to say. Look, I watched that yesterday, and there were a lot of different forms to it. But there was a woman screaming, "Shame, shame, shame, shame." She was a agitator, probably a paid agitator, but in my opinion, she was an agitator, a very high-level agitator, so professional. She wouldn't stop screaming. I said, this isn't a normal situation. This is a professional troublemaker. Because you heard it and I had it. Now, I will say this. The news sort of turned her down, turned her off, because you're trying to watch. She was so loud and so crazy and just not normal. When somebody sees something like that, they don't go screaming and the same words. So I guess you could say professional, but I didn't think she did a very good job. You have agitators, and we will always be protecting ICE, and we're always going to be protecting our Border Patrol and our law enforcement.
The state officials there have said that the FBI is not sharing evidence with them. Typically, they would conduct a joint investigation, as you know. Do you believe that the FBI should be sharing evidence with state officials in Minnesota?
Well, normally I would, but they're crooked officials. I mean, Minneapolis and Minnesota, what a beautiful place, but it's being destroyed. It's got an incompetent governor, fool. I mean, he's a stupid person. And it looks like the number could be $19 billion stolen from a lot of people, but largely people from Somalia. They buy their vote. They vote in a group. They buy their vote. They sell more Mercedes-Benzes in that area than almost. Can you imagine? You come over with no money, and then shortly thereafter you're driving a Mercedes-Benz. The whole thing is ridiculous. So they're very corrupt people. It's a very corrupt state. I feel that I won Minnesota. I think I won it all 3 times. Nobody's won it since Richard Nixon won it many, many years ago. I won it all 3 times, in my opinion. And it's a corrupt state, a corrupt voting state. And the Republicans ought to get smart and demand on voter ID. They ought to demand maybe same-day voting and all of the other things that you have to have a safe election. But I won Minnesota 3 times, and I didn't get credit for it. I did so well in that state every time. The people were crying every time after. That's a crooked state. California is a crooked state. Many crooked states. We have a very, very dishonest voting system. The last time I won, 24, the one that just took place, I won because it was too big to rig. You couldn't rig it. It was too big. But I won the state of Minnesota. It's a corrupt voting system with an incompetent governor, a very incompetent governor.
Good's death, at least the 5th tied to immigration sweeps since President Trump took office last year, has resonated far beyond Minneapolis, with protests reportedly planned for this weekend. Another separate shooting in Portland, Oregon a day later by the Border Patrol has also set off protests in multiple cities and denunciations of immigration enforcement tactics by the U.S. government.